Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I just like to apologize in advance for any background noise. We have a few people working on our backyard right now and our patio trying to make it look very nice and pretty, so that's where some noise is going to be coming from. I'm really sorry if you can hear it very clearly, but it shouldn't be too loud. So today's video is about exactly what the title says, immature people. I actually had no content ideas, and this issue just happened to pop up yesterday, so am I going to milk it and make it into a video? Heck yes, you know I am. Okay, so getting straight into it. Yesterday in my club, Dangerous Sisters, was the day that our latest batch of trial members found out if they officially made it into the club or not. Now in DS, we actually have a 2-week trial for any new joiners where they're treated just like any member. But within the first 2 weeks, if they cause any drama, are very inactive, and etc., they would not pass their trial and be removed from the club entirely. Now this one trial, I'm not going to name names or anything in this video for privacy reasons, but throughout their trial weeks, they were generally very disrespectful. They constantly interrupted practices by bringing up random stuff and going off topic, disrupting hangout calls, and not listening or doing what they were supposed to be doing. There were multiple practices where they were just running around the arena when they were specifically told to go to the overhead, and they said that they had to try out what I was teaching first on their own in order to understand it, which I respect, but I made it very clear that everyone should watch and they would get the opportunity to try it afterwards. So they reluctantly went to the overhead. They were politely warned, by the way, for their behavior as well, so it wasn't like they just weren't aware of it, they chose not to listen. Now, the day before the announcements were going to be made on who would pass their trial and who wouldn't, I was already considering not passing them, but I decided that I would think for a bit longer to make sure I was making the best decision possible. The next morning when I woke up, it seemed like things were already decided for me. About 7 people, club members, had privately messaged me on Discord. Apparently, this person was on call with a large group of club members that night and had bluntly said that they didn't think a specific trial, let's call them Tiffany, was going to pass. When people told them that Tiffany was in the call themselves, they said, "Oh, I know," which is very offensive and shows that they were intentionally trying to hurt them. They also randomly joined calls and screamed a lot and sang obnoxiously, which is very unnecessary. Now, normally in a situation like this in the club, if it was only one person who was reporting another, I would talk to both of them for longer because I can't and I would hate to pick sides with no direct proof. However, this wasn't only a one-person report. It was many trustworthy, kind members that I knew personally who reported them, and they'd have no motive, no reason to do so if it wasn't actually the case. So I believed them, because I've also had this happen to me as well, where this person interrupted me, and while that isn't a big deal, if they're constantly doing that, not just to me but to others as well, then that's not good. So what they were being reported for was very believable, and I did what I had to do. I messaged the person. I said, "Hello, today is 2 weeks since you've joined Dangerous Sisters. We have come to the conclusion that you might not be the best fit for the sisters, and you unfortunately did not pass your trial phase. You are free to apply again if you wish, but there is no promise that you will get in again. Thank you for the time that you've spent with us. We wish you the best." They then asked me for an explanation as to why they didn't make it, so I gave it to them. They immediately got on the defensive side and said, "First, I told Tiffany I was worried in a friendly way, since they haven't been to too many practices. Secondly, I never screamed. I was talking in a normal voice and I wasn't actually singing. I'm pretty sure that Tiffany was the one screaming as I was on mute, and it's sad to say that you don't believe me." Well, let me talk, my friend. It doesn't really matter if you said it in a friendly way or not, because no matter what your tone of voice was, the words itself comes off as very offensive. You do not have the right to tell someone in any way that you don't think they will make it past their trial, because the decision is not up to you, and that's just very impolite, especially when you know that they're listening. Then, your talking might seem like screaming to others, and I think that Tiffany themselves would know if they were the ones singing, but they reported you as well, so why would you report yourself for singing. I don't know if that makes sense, but like, yeah, I'm sorry that I don't believe you, but it's kind of hard to believe a new trial who, like, I've had first hand bad experiences with over people that I know would never lie. And it's not even just one person, because if it's in a one on one situation, um, then like I can't really pick sides. But I don't think that 7v1 is a coincidence. And of course, I'm not biased, but just based on the facts. So then Miss Girl says out of nowhere, "Didn't I tell you I have severe ADHD in my application?" They're talking about their Dangerous Sisters application, by the way. Like, I'm sorry, but what does that have to do with anything that we were just talking about? They then proceed to send me a screenshot of the story they posted on their Instagram, which said, "Last time I will ever address this. I have severe ADHD and anxiety. I finish other people's sentences. I'm not interrupting. I'm starting a new conversation from what you had to say. I'm done with people lying about me and who I am. Stop thinking my ADHD has to fit in a box, because it doesn't. Mine is unique to myself. To any and all clubs I join, and especially at Snowglass, I am worth more. There's no point in giving me warnings. I just said I interrupt it as a family thing. My mom feels so bad when I get kicked out because she feels like it's her fault. Yes, I know some people don't like that, but you can't change that. I am proud to be myself." See, I absolutely despise people like this. I'm sorry, but do you not understand that not everyone likes it when someone quote unquote finishes their sentences for them and then just completely start a whole new conversation? That's literally the exact same thing as interrupting. Please educate yourself. We never lied about who they were. We never even mentioned your ADHD because we believe that your mental disability doesn't, like, separate you from anyone else. We don't discriminate. We never said that they were worthless at all. Don't put words into our mouths. I'd like to see some proof, for one, or at least hear when we did such things, or provide us examples, but I know that they have none. There's no point in giving me warnings. Excuse me? So are you saying that, like, interrupting people is a family trait, or like, and the gaslighting here, wow, it is incredible. Not even a full minute after they're removed from the club, they try to manipulate and play victim, trying to make me feel bad for them and everyone else feel bad for them and their mother. Sis, you can't be both bad at gaslighting and lying at the same time. Pick a struggle. Having any kind of mental health disorder does not give you an excuse for your awful behavior. You're still in control of your actions and what you say and do. We all struggle. We all deal with things every single day. And mental health shouldn't be stereotypical as only used for excuses, because it's not. It shouldn't be used as an advantage to be hurtful like that. And oh boy, there's even more, which is delightful. So apparently, their friends felt so bad that they needed to get their supporters to go and send them pitiful messages saying, like, "Oh, I'm so sorry this happened to you," and stuff, describing quote unquote bad experiences that they've had with me and or the club. I find that hilarious because I was just the messenger. Like, did I personally say something rude? I don't think so. And if you hated the club so much in the first place, why did you apply and join? Honestly, just admit that you're salty you were removed as the consequence of your own actions. Like, I get it, you have the right to be upset. Anyone that is removed from whatever club, even if it's their own fault for whatever reason, has the right to be upset. But you can't just purposely try to harm them or bring them down because it's just immature and dumb. I think they got a total of one quote unquote bad experience, anyways, so it doesn't really matter. But it said, "All I have to say is that Snow is pretty toxic. She lies about her age and her toxic experiences. She has me banned from her Club Cliche server because I left when she told me, 'Oh yeah, you can't retheme, so I'ma take your role away.' She manipulates players and more. I'm sorry you have to deal with that." And man responds with, "Thank you so much. I'm crying." Like, bro, are you really that pathetic and desperate that you'll pick out the tiniest things I've done, make up a whole story about it, and try to hashtag cancel me? Because I'm sorry, but that's not gonna work, and you're basically providing me with more clout, so thanks for that, I guess. Like, I posted response stories to all of these, but here. Don't believe anything that you see on the internet without hearing both sides of the story. Yes, the person who gave me that response was removed from Club Cliché, but for a valid reason. I promise you, they were removed because they and their club members were rude to me for supposedly quote-unquote stealing their outfit when it's the outfit I was required to use for the Terrific Tigers 8-ball routine, and I was wearing it because I was too lazy to change out of it for a single video. Like, how does that make sense? What? See, here, they sent me a screenshot of my video claiming that it was their club outfit, and I said, dude, that's literally one of the most common purple outfits ever. I didn't make it with your club's outfit in mind, and you need to understand that you can't claim clothing items on an online horse game. They said that they only wanted small credit in the description, and I apologized, saying I wasn't going to do that because it was just an outfit I made. They said I've never worn purple until the club outfit was sent in the Club Cliché chats. To be fairly honest, I didn't see their club outfit in the chats. I don't really check those chats because that's not my main job and I'm much busier doing other things in the server, but I told them I didn't take the outfit from Club Cliché, and then they said, yeah, okay, I guess you're clueless, and blocked me. It's not just that either that caused them to be banned, because it itself wasn't that bad. I deal with way worse, like, all the time, and they were just like another pebble in the road. But they were banned because they constantly left the server, joined, then registered their club, left, joined again, registered their club, left, etc. It was a constant cycle, and it was really bothering me and wasting my time because they left without saying a word or notifying us either. Registering a club takes me about 15 minutes on its own, checking for anything that I need, making sure that I'm hunting people down, and getting what I need for that format to be posted. And removing it also takes a long time, giving their roles and stuff like that. It just really wastes my time. And I have much more important things that I would rather be doing, so that's the real reason they were removed. And the argument of lying about my age and experience, honestly, I think that's the worst argument ever, because even if I was lying about my age, like, so what? How does that negatively affect any part of you other than your self-esteem if you found out that I was younger than you, yet more successful than you will ever be? I don't know, but please mind your own business. Give me one example when I've manipulated players, please and thank you. It actually makes me really, really mad because if you look at the old conversations that I've had with this person who had a quote-unquote bad experience with me, it was just me being polite and giving them advice when they needed it, and then they just turn around and stab me in the back. Like, I see you, but could you please not? I know I come off as really aggressive in this video, and I promise I'm not that type of person, but I've just had enough. People these days are so overly immature, and I feel like if you don't say anything about it, they will just never stop. And I'm not insulting them either. I'm not downright harassing them or anything, but I'm just making it known, and I'm just saying that it's a really bad situation. So if anyone finds yourself in it, know that you're not alone. Let me just make it clear that I'm not perfect, and I'm aware of that. Like any decent human, I make plenty of mistakes, but at least I act mature and I own up to those mistakes without making excuses. Anyone that I have had sincere issues with in the past, I have resolved those situations, those arguments, and we're completely good now because we were mature enough to actually have a conversation about it and settle it. I am confident that I have nothing else that I've done wrong, and anything else that people are bringing up are just attention-seeking children who have nothing better to do with their time, and therefore they're just making weak attempts to take me down, which is really embarrassing for them, honestly, and they're just making a fool of themselves. Like, why are you so desperate to ruin someone else's life? Like, really, what have I done to you? Please provide a valid reason, because I know myself that I'm not guilty. This would be a completely different story if I knew I was guilty and I was just defending something and lying about it, but I know that I have done nothing wrong, right? Like, what? But then after that amazing fiasco, the Kicked trial blocked me on Instagram and on Discord and had the audacity to message a member of mine who told me, she told me to tell you this for some reason, copy and pasted. I don't know what it proves, but she's pressuring me to tell you because she knew you said she was making excuses about everything off your Instagram story. And it said anxiety meds, Prozac, ADHD meds, Contempla. So what? It's not like I don't believe they have ADHD. That's not the part that concerns me, though. It's their behavior that does. And I don't think I need to repeat my speech on how mental disorders don't excuse your awful actions. They're also so scared of me that they don't want to unblock me and they're stalking me on an alternate account. If that isn't plain fan behavior, I don't know what is. At this point, I was just completely done with it. So I'd like to say, overall, I have never and will never remove someone from either my club or my server without a good reason. I don't do things based on my personal feelings. When in a situation like this, I completely put those aside, but I do what is best for those around me. When someone is removed, their behavior after their removal further proves the reasoning. In this case, it proved how immature the person was, and honestly, it was a good riddance. They told my friend that I was immature for involving my club in this when they were involving an approximate sum of 200 Instagram followers. Bye. You attack my club, you attack me, and I am not having that. As corny as it sounds, I will always stand up for my sisters and what is right. What makes me feel secondhand embarrassment for them, though, is the fact that they had the audacity to say, repost if you agree. Guess who reposted it? Nobody. But yet dozens of people have replied to my story with their condolences and reposted it. And I'm not doing this for pity at all. I'm just trying to address the situation. And the thing is, I have to address it because I feel like if someone posts something negative about you and you say nothing, you're confirming their suspicions, or you're just like completely ignoring it, and that's not what I want to say. However, if something completely dumb comes up, then I would ignore that, but I just wanted to educate my audience and basically give them a lesson on how mental health does not excuse your behavior. I guess they themselves felt the shame as well because they deleted their Instagram story not soon after. I'm sorry, but I find it so pathetic, and people really show their true selves in something like this, especially when you've been nothing but kind to them. I treated the people that I have talked about today with complete and utter kindness, like they were part of my family, and I did my best to attend to whatever they needed. But, stuff like this happens. I know I'm not the only club owner that deals with unnecessary drama and guilt tripping. Guilt tripping is literally the worst thing, especially when you're practically begging for pity and feeling the need to bring others down in order to bring yourself up. So if there are any other club owners out there, know that you're not alone. I'm sorry for what's going on, but just know that it's not your fault. Kids will be kids, and they're called kids and children for a reason. So keep doing what you do best and own it, guys. I love you all so much. Thank you for watching and have a great rest of your day.